examples of how the Bible can be made to say too little or too much may help illustrate what we try to do in the book. Take a simple example like a miracle story. Does every account that a reader of the Old or New Testaments at first glance think is narrating some supernatural event necessarily do so? Was that the author's original intention? It's long been recognized by even very conservative Old Testament scholars that in Joshua 10, when it talks about the sun standing still, that this may be some kind of poetic reference to God's intervention on behalf of Israel, short of the earth literally stopping for an hour or any period of time from rotating on its axis, which then would require all of the gravitational forces to be rewired for that period of time, a miracle that's not beyond the capability of God, but is so utterly unlike anything that's ever described anyplace else in Scripture, nor would it have been necessary to save the Israelites in that situation. Well, when one studies other ancient Near Eastern, Mesopotamian literature, one discovers that at least one possible explanation is that the sun standing still is language that could be used for what we still often see in our world today when the moon is out, even though the sun has risen, or the moon comes out before the sun has set. Doesn't happen every day, doesn't happen most days in most parts of the world, but the ancient Mesopotamians took that as a very bad omen. The cultures surrounding Israel were in many ways extremely superstitious, as we would use that term today. Could it be that God used that kind of celestial configuration to begin to terrify the Canaanite peoples that Joshua was fighting in chapter 10, and we don't even need to label that then a miracle story? It is another literary genre altogether. Whether or not that's the right solution to that particular chapter and that exegetical question, that's one illustration of one topic where maybe some people have made the Bible say too much, that it doesn't need to. But then, to take the classic example, if Christ be not raised, we are of all people most miserable, 1 Corinthians 15:19. So when it comes to the resurrection, a term and a concept that in first century Jewish life without exception meant bodily resurrection, we say too little if we don't affirm that that was a genuine supernatural bodily event.